Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And guys, I have some huge news about the game and about my channel in general. But first off, you guys probably saw the forum post, Reddit, my Twitter account, and many other avenues. There is an update coming regarding Sith, and the Sith that we already have, like Darth Sidious, Savage Opress, Count Dooku, they are getting some mini rework to them. And today I have some Gear 11 gameplay of all those Sith in Arena, Galactic War, and other aspects of the game, so you guys can see what is in store. And the reason why we have that type of gameplay is because finally, after many months of talking with the developers and them partnering with me, we finally have a beta access of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This is pretty much one of the tools that they use to test out the future builds of the game, test out the characters that might be coming out in the future. I get to see them, I get to use them extensively, get gameplay, and the day that something comes out, I send you guys the gameplay, and we are going to have a lot of fun. We can get Gear 11 Mob Enforcer gameplay, we can get Zeta gameplay, we can get Gear 11 Ugnaught gameplay. Whatever you guys want, we can do. So make sure down below you guys let me know what you guys would really want to see. This is truly unlimited power in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And before we get going here, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. A lot of you guys already bought some t-shirts. Down below in the description, you can find that link if you want to go ahead, support my law school education, support this channel in general, or just if you're a fan of me, there are t-shirts down below that you can purchase and support me, and I really do appreciate all you guys do. So thank you so much. But without further ado, let's go ahead, check out the new Sith Rework, what's going on, and my thoughts on them, and we're gonna have some fun. So stick around and let's get right into it. The first Sith we have to talk about is Count Dooku. He has been out of the picture for such a long time, ever since the evasion meta met his end, and he became a lot more useful with this more recent update. First off, Hindering Press, which is his basic attack, can now apply debuffs to non-Jedi enemies, and the chance to debuff Jedi is increased. Before, he was only able to stun and ability block Jedi. Now they changed that to go ahead and apply to non-Jedi characters like Stormtrooper Han, Fives, and I'm showing gameplay of how that works. Now, the Omega version of this makes him into a General Grievous type of character where he cannot be countered when he attacks. Plus, on top of this, he gains a plus 15% damage because before, he was hitting like a wet noodle. The next thing we have to talk about, and I was saying this in many videos before, Force Lightning. Besides the fact that the chance to debuff is now increased, the Omega version grants him a 50% chance to inflict shock in addition to plus 15% damage, and on top of that, more damage has been increased on Force Lightning. So I was saying this for a long time, that it would be great to see Count Dooku have shock, and now Palpatine and Count Dooku, they are now best buddies when using that debuff, and that is super important because he's one of the fast characters in the game, so he can open up the gates and get that shock up right away. The next thing, he has a Zeta ability on his unique, and it looks like it's going to be a very interesting one. It's called Flawless Riposte, and Count Dooku now gains critical hit immunity for 1 turn and recovers 10% protection whenever he counterattacks. Now guys, you know how this guy counterattacks. He counterattacks left and right, and that is a lot of protection regeneration. So Daze is going to be a huge friend to prevent him from constantly counterattacking, and I hope to get gameplay of that sometime in the near future now that I have one of those beta accounts. The next thing we're going to talk about, Darth Maul. Not much has changed. Ever since he got Daze, he is a super powerful monster, and they just pretty much changed his leader ability just a little bit. Now on his Zeta ability, the stealth and turn meter bonuses that come from here now ignores taunting allies, because you don't want one of your taunters to go stealth because all of a sudden you lose that buff of the taunt. So this kind of fixes that problem. So it's more of a fix rather than an increase or a rework of any sort. However, like Count Dooku, Darth Sidious is the next character that got a couple changes. We know he got a Zeta not too long ago. Well, they went ahead and gave him even more since he's still not being used as much. And we see that with his basic ability known as Deathstroke. Now he can go ahead and get critical hits, because before, when he ignored defense, he wouldn't be able to get critical hits, and now that has changed. And his Omega ability now doubles the chance to ignore defense if the target is debuffed. And what that means is that he is going to go ahead and do more damage to those characters that usually are very heavy in the defensive area like Fives and Sun Fac. One of my personal favorite things that came out of this update is Demoralizing Blows, which is Darth Sidious's AoE ability. It is pretty cool, and he is going to be like the next Poe. He can now inflict Expose in addition to all the previous debuffs that he can apply, and the damage also got increased. So all those exposes at the very beginning of the game, Darth Sidious is a very fast character, so this can apply very early, can be very deadly when using someone like Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Darth Maul, and his big AoE attack. So this is a very good update right here. And lastly, his leader ability got some interesting changes here, and how this works is that he gives plus 1% critical chance more, plus 10% critical chance more, then Sith allies gain 2% offense until the end of the battle whenever they score a critical hit. Now, I have to look into this more. It's not quite clear if they gain 2% offense every single time they score a critical hit, or if it's just a one-time deal. You get your critical hit and then you just get 2% offense and no more until the end of the battle. I think if the language would say instead that each time they get a critical hit, they gain 2% offense, it would be much clearer that every single time this happens instead of a one-time deal. But even with this ambiguity, I think it's going to be the latter, where every single time someone gets a critical hit, they go ahead and keep stacking that offense on top of offense on top of offense, and that could be pretty deadly, and I'm thinking that might be great for the AAT raid. We will soon see in future videos. Now, Darth Vader, he's already great. We never expected him to get even better. Now his basic terrifying swing has plus 15% damage more, in addition to having a plus 15% ability block chance. And if you guys knew what the previous percentage was, this means Darth Vader has a super high chance to go ahead and apply this ability block. Absolutely insane. And this is just great to see that he also has more damage increase, and we see the same thing happen with Force Crush, where his Force Crush goes ahead and does more damage than before, because that was kind of a weak attack. Although deadly with all the debuffs, damage-wise wasn't doing too much, so it seems like they went ahead, stepped up his game a little bit. The last guy that we have to talk about is Savage Opress. Holy cow, they did a lot of stuff to him, and I have gameplay of that, of course, in this video, and I'll try to show the difference of what it looks like now. And the first thing we need to talk about is his basic Staggering Blow. Now what happens is that he always has a 50% chance to inflict offense down, and it's doubled on a critical hit. So if you get a critical hit, this is a 100% chance to inflict offense down, and with that, his damage is also increased. Overpower now is a lot more useful. Now what happens is he deals massive damage if the target has 50% health or below, in addition to all the previous bonuses that we are familiar with. Before, it was much lower. I believe it was 25%, and in the grand scheme of things, that was super low. 50% is actually pretty huge, especially when trying to take out those big tanks like Sun Fac, General Kenobi, Baze. This really does help out a lot. Next is his leader ability. I'm not too impressed with this. Maybe you guys are. It's called Pain is Weakness, and now what happens is that it changed everything to defense, and the defense maxes out at 75%, and the Omega gives plus 15% defense more and plus 30% tenacity. I don't think this will be a game changer for Sith. I think there are other better Sith leaders like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Emperor Palpatine, and Count Dooku's probably still even better than this, even though he has a catch-all leader ability. So I don't think that Savage Opress will be seeing this leader ability be used all that much. And lastly, he has a Zeta ability in his unique, but before we even get to that, essentially what happens now is that at the end of his turn, Savage dispels all debuffs from a random Sith ally, and then he gains those debuffs. So he's kind of helping out another Sith by taking on their pain in a way. And his Zeta ability is kind of cool. He gains heal over time when he is damaged. His buff duration gets increased by 1. He has a 50% turn meter gain chance. And then anytime he is critically hit, he goes ahead and dispels all the debuffs on him. So he's going to go ahead, take those debuffs from another Sith ally. Most likely will get critically hit, and then he dispels all those. So he's kind of a cleanser in a way, a very odd cleanser. He's no Chiro Imwe and he's no Kenobi, but this will definitely be interesting for the Sith faction as a whole. Let me go ahead and put on some arena gameplay with these characters, and I gotta say, a full Sith team does not look like it will be completely viable, mainly because they are missing a Taunter, and they are also missing someone who can remove buffs from the other team. Palpatine, he can prevent them, Count Dooku can prevent them, but the problem is they cannot remove anything. So they are great, but I just don't see a full Sith team happening just yet. We don't know what Darth Nihilus looks like. I'm hoping that will change the game for the Sith, but under a Vader Zeta, wasn't really looking too good. Under a Palpatine lead, it was okay, but still not too amazing. I did not try this with a Darth Maul Zeta, and I think that might make a full Sith team somewhat viable, but I still think without a taunting Sith tank, it's not going to look too well. So taking all these guys, all their reworks, putting them together probably won't be your arena team. Unlike the First Order, I think they got a much better pass where they the First Order Stormtrooper looks great, Kylo Ren looks amazing, First Order Officer, he can go ahead and cleanse and give someone 100% Terminator. So a lot more is happening for the First Order in my opinion over the Sith, but all this stuff definitely is making the Sith a lot better, and going forward I'm going to be getting a lot more gameplay since I have one of those beta accounts, and we're going to have so much fun. So guys, let me know what you're thinking about this Sith. Who seems to be your personal favorite? I personally really love Count Dooku, and I want to see what his Zeta ability will look like in action. And I also really love the fact that Darth Sidious can now apply Expose. He's going to be just like Poe in a way, and just a lot more deadly. So I'm really excited to check that out. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to all the exclusive content heading your way. And as always, please go ahead, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe for more awesome Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content. And we will talk again soon. Peace out.